goes out and there's no supply of water, or it just doesn't get there, and that's what that would be, kick into place. But you do have an emergency backup plan that Selective's aware of, that we gave to them, so that's why they're willing to offer that coverage.
And what is that limit?
It's a limit that stands by its own. It does not go into the general liability limits of $1 million, $3 million. It's a limit that stands by itself on top of that section of coverage.
And do we know how much that is? I mean, do I need, is it
Oh, you mean
per occurrence? It's just, it's on the list
million-
here under aggregate.
Yeah, the million is the sub-limit.
That
It's
is
just one
the
limit,
sub-limit?
one
Okay.
limit.
Thank you.
Any other questions on general? Automobile liability kind of speaks for itself. All the companies have quoted everything the same, except Travelers would audit the policy at the end of the year, and so would Trident. Selective wouldn't, neither would NYMER. But that's not a big issue. You might have, if you added a vehicle during the mid-year, Selective or NYMER would charge you, 6 months worth of premium right then and there. Travelers and Trident would wait till the end of the year, bring in an auditor and check over the vehicles, and if you had a couple more, you'd charge a couple more, or it would be an additional premium, and if you had a couple less, it would be a return premium. But everybody likes to know whether their policies are going to be audited or not, so I didn't know that, so I'll just point that out. Our inland marine coverages, pretty much, we gave the other companies everything that we currently have, and they quoted pretty much everything the same. Selective does have a rental expense any one day. It's $1,000 with a total up to $25,000. So if you had a machine go down and you needed to get the work finished, you needed to rent a machine, they provide up to $1,000 a day, up to $25,000 for rental until either that other machine is repaired or replaced. So it's nice to have. You don't realize until something happens where, when you do have it, you say, wow, that's nice. Your umbrella, I talked about that a little bit before. Selective is offering $10 million per occurrence, $20 million aggregate for each subline. When I say Travelers not offered, they didn't offer one, but Castle Point, which is part of the Tower Group, I looked it up on the internet. They're a $1 billion corporation. They have $1 billion in assets, and they have a couple of insurance companies which make part of the group. They are A-rated, so there's nothing that I can see that's not. They're fine, and they would cover over Travelers' underlying coverages, except they do not provide coverage for the dam. So you have no dam exposure under that umbrella. Sorry, but I mean it's.
We tried really hard on it.
And Trident offers a $10 million per occurrence, $10 million aggregate, but theirs is not as broad as Selective's policy. And NYMER will offer $10 million, $20 million. Public officials liability. Yes, all the companies have offered that. And we just threw in a couple of things that are kind of important. Duty to defend is outside the limit, so that doesn't affect your primary limit of $1 million. It's in addition to, and all the companies offer that. Employment related practices, that's covered under Selective's public officials policy. Travelers has a separate form that they use, so it's a separate limit from the public officials. Trident is the same, and so is NYMER. We have a loss of wages endorsement. Selective offers $10,000 per occurrence to a $75,000 aggregate for loss of wages. Travelers offers $1 million per occurrence with $1 million aggregate. Trident's at $50,000 with a $10,000 deductible, and NYMER's at $25,000. So they vary on that as far as what coverages they're willing to offer. And employment practices, non-monetary suit defense costs per claim per aggregate. Selective offers a limit of $100,000 per occurrence, $100,000 aggregate. Travelers does not cover it, and neither does Trident, and NYMER does allow $25,000 for that particular coverage. Okay. Now, employment practices, legal liability. Again, selective, that employment practices legal liability is in the public officials policy for selective. It's separate for travelers. So now travelers is offering $1 million per occurrence and $1 million aggregate with a $15,000 deductible. In travelers defense, they offer $5,000 on the public officials, where selective is $10,000, and the other companies are also $10,000. But on the employment practices liability, the other companies are $10,000 and travelers is $15,000. So it's kind of which way you're going to go. Police professional, everyone's offering $1 million per occurrence, $1 million each person to $1 million occurrence. Obviously, if it's larger than that, then your umbrella comes down over that. Each claim $5,000. Trident is the only one that has $10,000. Last is.
But they don't do each person.
Yeah, who's that now?
Trident or NYMER.
Yeah, they just do an occurrence, $1 million occurrence, and each policy.
That's a big difference, yeah.
Yeah, so does that mean like if
That means if
let's say
three guys involved?
sued or involved in an incident?
Right, they're going to pay just on the occurrence.
And then
That's
the others
big.
would pay,
That's a
and
big
the others
deal.
could in essence cover up to $3 million, let's say under that hypothetical.
Or that year.
Well,
Yeah, well,
each person, each
each person.
occurrence. Well, $1 million would be the maximum they would pay out under the primary. Then you go into your umbrella after that.
well, I understand, it's just that these other two aren't even covering that, that's amazing.
All right, crime. NYMER didn't offer the crime policy, so in essence, we could use the traveler's alternate quote for them. And the crime you currently have, you have employee theft for $100,000. The treasurer and the tax collector are covered as employees with that $100,000 limit. Again, we think that should be increased.
It's usually at least 10% of your tax levy for protection. And for some reason, you don't have to produce a bond and show the county that they're bonded. I don't know why. But
Yeah, other municipalities,
All our others.
we get calls.
1, 1, and 6 1, we gotta have the stuff in.
Right.
I just, maybe it's grandfathered, I don't know.
Trust.
Yeah.
Probably.
Just trust.
And that limit's been that way for quite a while, I think. It's kind of low.
Last but not least in your program
Maybe
here.
somebody from the county's watching YouTube, and then we'll get a letter.
Yeah, letter. The crime law.
Now, trust. The county trusts.
The last page shows storage tank system liability, pollution liability that you have with Zurich, and it outlines the 3 tanks that we're covering above ground, and we have an underground tank also. And that premium went up, looks like $100, $110, but it's something you need to know. So, that's...
I just wanted to ask a question about your building appraisals. Have you ever thought about researching, over a period of time, the values of your buildings to make sure they're okay? I mean, because we're not certified appraisers. I don't know if you've ever had that done,
I know they've had it done.
but I think it's been a while.
Could be.
Yeah, we'll have to check that with Meg. You know offhand, sir?
Yeah.
Yeah, we checked with Meg.
So, after reviewing these proposals, I was hoping on the go-in that Travelers would quote everything, because I think they've got a good program, and there's no doubt about it, they're a good company. Selected's got a good program, and they're a good company, and they are offering a considerable advantage when it comes to the umbrella policy. Trident, I'm not, they're okay, they're a good company, and there's a municipality just down the road that has been insured with Trident for quite a few years.